Hey everyone, Jonathan and Molly here, and welcome back to Savor the Magic.
That's right. So today we are here at the Animate conference. We're here on Saturday, first year for this. So come along with us on this brand new excursion. So we are about to go into the Little Mermaid panel with Jodi Benson, and I just lost his name, Christopher Michael Barnesby?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Prince Eric.
Prince Eric, yeah. That's really, it's Princess Ariel. Prince Eric.
That's the one.
Today he joins us as the voice of Prince Eric in the original Little Mermaid. Please welcome Christopher Daniel Barnes! Yes. And next, she's actress and singer, whose body of work includes The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Camp Lazlo, and the highly undervalued series, The Pirates of Darkwater. Today, she joins us to discuss the role of Princess Ariel. Please welcome Jodi Benson! It's a early morning. Yes. It's a nice Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Time for breakfast cereal and cartoons. Two of my favorite things.
Saturday morning. Here we go.
Oh, absolutely. Well, friends, so glad to have you here in Orlando. So it's the first time we've sat here on stage and all that stuff. But so I'll tell you what. Let's throw this out here. I've heard some of the basic stories, but let's just get this out of the way. Since we're in Disney World's backyard, what are some of your favorite Disney attractions?
You go first.
Okay, so my current favorite is Cosmic Rewind. Guardians of the Galaxy. And number 2 is Everest Expedition. My record for that is 14 times in a row.
Yeti.
My favorite will always be, because it was when I was a little kid, the first time I went to Disney, I went on the Peter Pan ride. And I remember that moment where you're in the room and then the window opens and you go out that little cart. I was mesmerized by that as a kid. That will always be a wonderful memory, always be my favorite ride.
I will always be a welcome, foolish mortals. And of course, the laugh floor, because anyone ever been to the laugh floor?
Yes. Yeah.
Hello, humans.
Is this room stretchy?
I used to help the monsters. So,
You're friends with Monster.
yes, I was friends with Mike Wazowski, Buddy Boyle, and all of them. So, let's just do this one. So I want you to go out there and start taking some of the questions. What's been the best thing to come out of this wonderful gig for both of you?
Let's see, going on 39 years with the company, which is hard to believe. I think it's just been the most incredible, magical surprise journey, because it was never part of my original plan for my career, and when it came up as this big gift and big surprise, everything changed, so everything that I'm a part of now is because of the film and because of the Walt Disney Company. So it's the whole thing is just a magical blessing.
Yeah, it's the legacy. And we had no idea what this was going to turn into. And now we're, oh my God, 30-something years now. And we have people come up to the booths who say, oh, it was my favorite movie, and my kid's favorite movie, and now it's the grandkids. So it's this wonderful sense of legacy of being part of that. And of course, you being a Disney legend is sort of reflective of that, right?
When, again, you and I know people have asked you this for a long time. Did you always know it was going to be a success? When did you realize that not only it was a success, it may have eclipsed everybody's wildest expectations? When was that moment you realized this is never going to fully just go off in the distance? It's always going to be there, and then like the tide, no pun intended, it's going to roll back in occasionally.
I think for me, we opened in November 1989. It would be in January. I think in January, that's when I started realizing that life was really changing very quickly. and that the response of the film was not quieting down from the holidays. That's when I could tell at the studio things were just moving at a very fast pace. And for me personally, everything was taking this major turn. So I think the reality started kicking in that, I mean, once they decided they were going to reveal who we were, because we were going to remain anonymous the way that Walt had designed it, that you would just focus on the voice and not who was behind the microphone. Once that was revealed in the September beforehand, from September to January, I think, is when I started realizing this was going to be something really special. And this wasn't going to just be a one and done job, go back to New York, do Broadway, 8 shows a week. That's when I really realized things were shifting in a big, big way, in a wonderful way.
It wasn't Oliver and Company, and that's not a diss against Oliver and Company. It just, yeah.
Yeah, the extent of I was just a teenager at the time, so the extent of my awareness of all that was me sitting in the theater eating popcorn going, "This is really good movie!"
Well, thank you for indulging my commission's curiosity. I'm gonna go out there and take their awesome questions. But before I do that, as always, on behalf of myself and this audience, once again, I thank you both. I thank you for your talents. I thank you for your professionalism. I thank you for the performances you brought to these roles and your Tate Friday work. And I thank you both for acknowledging how important this is for so many people. You've both been very protective of these roles, and you have taken this as a responsibility, not just a fun little gig you did decades ago. So thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patty. That's really sweet of you to say that. But he's right. We do have, it's a duty. It's kind of a mission for us to protect the integrity of our characters and to make sure that they bring you the joy that they brought you many, 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 many years ago. I mean, that's our job, is to make sure that that integrity and that character stays strong and allows you to have that trigger core memory when you meet us and greet us. And we appreciate all your stories of what the film means, what our characters mean to you. And we do. We take it very seriously as far as that level of responsibility goes. It's it can be overwhelming sometimes I think, but we feel very fortunate and blessed that we get to be a little part of your world, no pun intended.
Hi, what's your name?
Maddie,
Hi, Maddie, what would you like to know?
what is your favorite part of working on Little Mermaid? Like favorite memory or something like that?
I think for me, it's in the recording studio with Howard Ashman standing to my left. So he was there for all of my recordings of A Part of Your World and the reprise, as well as every single line that I delivered. He was really my personal director since we had just worked together on Broadway in a musical called Smile. And Ron and John, our animating directors of our film, gave him the permission to be my personal director. So those are the fond memories that I have of working with him.
I remember for the first time seeing a video camera, one of those big video cameras you can hold on your shoulder, sort of set up in the room. And I remember thinking, this is in what, 88 or 87 when we recorded this, 88 I think. And I was thinking, why are they recording us? And then it occurred to me later that they were going to be animating some of our facial expressions. And I just remember as a kid in the booth thinking that was just so space age and technologically cool, And there's just what a memory of that. It just, especially now, everything's AI. That was just really interesting for the time.
Ooh, he said the forbidden word. Great question to start us off with. Thank you. Hi. What's your name?
Sage.
Sage. This is a great cosplay, by the way. Sage. Good. What you want to know?
So I've always been curious, for this production in particular, when you were before or during your voicing, did they show you Ariel and Eric? Like, did you get to see the concept art or storyboards or anything like that?
They were just thumbnail sketches in black and white, and Ariel looked very different than she is now. So we were shown that on thumbnail sketch where they go through the story, and that's it. But my lead animator, Glenn Keane, who's a probably the most brilliant animator on the planet, and he happens to be a dear friend, will explain to you that, you know, as he had his little Walkman and he was recording and he was sketching, Ariel came to life as soon as he heard my voice. So then she changed drastically from those initial sketches. But the voice comes first and the animation comes after.
Hey, yeah, same thing with me. It was just little sketches, black and white.
Great, thank you. Fun question. Hey, my friend, how you doing? Good. What you got?
Well, this is actually for both of you. But it's for both of you. How does it feel like to actually reprise both Ariel and Eric in video games like Kingdom Hearts and Disney Speeds to One?
Oh, it's wonderful. I remember the first time I got that call. I said, well, wait a second, Prince Eric. I go, you want to do what? A video game? I was like, absolutely, that sounds like a blast. It's sort of, you know, you get to relive the experience and, you know, sort of over the decades to sort of touch the character again in that part of your brain and that part of your life in sort of a new way, in a new genre, a new venue. It's very cool. We love it. And I mean, I've always had a great time doing it.
Everything he said.
Absolutely. Hey, brother, fun question. Whoops. There you go. Thank you much.
You get candy when you ask a question. I love it.
If you stay within the rules. No one's supposed to know that. Hi, what's your name?
Cindy. Good morning. I just was wondering, we all know you from Disney Forward, but what brought you to Disney? How did you get into the performing? Was it because you were in a performing family, or is it something you came to later? How did you get into it, and what was the reaction you got from your families?
I did not come from a performing family. I came from a smaller town in Illinois, and I just kind of came out of the womb singing and started doing little shows when I was 8 years old. So that's pretty much came from me. It's just that I just kind of had these gifts and I just wanted to see if I could use them and make a living. So I started working professionally when I was 18, I think. And yeah, and then just went to an open audition for Ariel. So it's just quite heavenly. It's definitely a God gift.
I was originally from Maine. We moved to New York when I was about 8. My mother got me into the business. For further details, consult my deeply disturbing short stories online. Growing up in the 80s in Hollywood.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Ricky. It's so nice to meet both of you. My question is, what's your favorite piece of Little Mermaid merchandise that you've seen?
I have quite the collection. I got more than 20, that's for sure. I do have a Giuseppe, I think it's Giuseppe Armani, statue on our dining room table. But I would have to say my Disney Legends award, my statue, that's also in our dining room. That's pretty special. Pretty special.
I still have one of the cells that they gave us. It's just of Prince Eric when he's seeing her, when he's playing the piccolo, and it's just this one. That's narcotic. This wonderful little Disney cell. I still have it on my wall.
What's your favorite?
I have this made, actually. All mermaids are valid.
That's wonderful.
Oh, thank you guys.
Get a picture of that? Okay, cool. All right, that's cool. Okay, hey, great question. Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Marissa. Hi. Thank you so much for shaping our childhood from Spider-Man and Pirates of Darkwater and everything. You pretty much shaped our generation. Between my dad being a huge nerd and my mom also being an 80s baby and whatnot. One thing that I want to mention was how we saw you last year in Jodi over in Hello Dolly, and it was absolutely incredible. Both my grandma, my mom, and I just having that multi-generational moment of being together, and not only hearing your voice that shaped my childhood, but seeing that talent and that passion for the theater. So I just want to thank you for that. But to see you again on stage again one day.
Oh, thank you. Hey, what's your name?
My name's Jeff. I'm from Orlando. You've undoubtedly interacted with millions and millions of fans. What interactions with fans have stuck with you over the years the most?
think all the stories make an impact. They kind of create a tapestry for me. Every story has value. Every person sharing their heart means something to us. So you can't really pick and choose what is more impactful or powerful. I think some of the stories that are very unique are the fans that have learned how to speak, that are nonverbal. And when they have learned how to communicate by watching our film, and as Ariel is finding her voice, they are finding their voice. So that's pretty magical, I think, to meet the people and parents who've walked that journey with their children. Yeah.
Very, very much so. Along those, almost the same. So what I was saying, when I was going to say, it's almost identical to what you're saying. This theme that I've noticed when people come up and they talk about what the mythology has meant to them, there's a recurring theme of dealing with isolation and finding themselves. I find that people that help them work through some kind of isolation, and that's like a really powerful gift that the mythology seems to have given to people. And something about your story in particular, something about this myth in particular seems to have touched people who are struggling with some feeling isolated, and it helped them through that. That's a beautiful thing when I hear that.
Yeah, I think for me, my largest fan base groups would be the LGBTQIA+ community and our community on the spectrum. And both of those communities I adore. I would say for both of those communities, our folks that are on the spectrum, and as well where they are trying to find their place and have a sense, like you said, of belonging and being heard and finding their personal voice. So those stories really resonate, I think, for us. And also, too, we know our characters are animated, but we, as humans, are people that you can connect with as you're trying to connect to our animated characters. So we understand that we're kind of the vessel to our characters, and sometimes there's not a line drawn between me and her. We're one and the same. So when we meet fans, we understand that element, that when you meet us, you are connecting here to our characters. So it's a really beautiful opportunity, and I think I know for both Christopher and I, that means something to us. You know, you're not a person just kind of passing through the line, although sometimes I know we have to go quickly if we have to get someplace like here. But we do try to make that connection and hear your story and hear what this means, to you. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that the mythology is so enduring, is that it's a coming-of-age story with a Faustian twist, with a Faustian bargain mixed in. And I think that theme of, you can find your place, you can accomplish your dream, you can find your place and you can belong as long as you shut up. That's a powerful myth. That's a powerful myth that people can relate to, because that's a sort of ubiquitous, universal danger in the human condition. You have to pay a price for being who you are. People relate to that, and so people, I think that's why the myth has endured, because people think, oh man, that's a horrible thing, and it's a myth that teaches you not to do that. You can be who you are, and you can, find your dreams and get what you want, and be your authentic self without sacrificing your voice. Great question.
Hi, what's your name?
Pleasure to meet you guys. You guys are incredible and everything. My question for you is that you guys have undoubtedly done an amazing job as Prince Eric and Ariel, as well as the rest of your voice acting roles. My question is, if you could voice anybody else throughout the Disney Princess franchise and everything, if you could voice any other character, who would you voice?
For me, I grew up with Cinderella, and so I would never want to revoice, obviously, but to be able to tackle that role, I think would be pretty magical. Yeah, I have had the opportunity to touch on characters and revoice them, like Lady and the Tramp and Anita and 101 Dalmatians. I actually have tracks that was an experiment as Sleeping Beauty, as Aurora, where I was able to sing and you know, create that was really, really magical. So yeah, I think it would be Cinderella.
I don't know. Well, Disney owns Marvel now, right? So I think,
and Star Wars.
Yeah, and Star Wars. So I'm hoping they buy Warhammer so that I can do. I'm a huge Warhammer 40K right here. Huge Warhammer 40K. So I'd love to do some sort of, you know, Doctor Strange nightmare villain. I think that would be so much fun. Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, he does have a villain called Nightmare. Who's
I know.
Yeah, no, sorry,
Who's
Nightmare villain.
Just right. It was, you know, it was a warp demon in 40K language.
Oh, I can see that. Good one. Thank you. Great one. Hey, what's your name?
Devin. Thank you both so much for defining a lot of childhoods here, including my own. I used to watch this movie all the time as a kid, play the NES game. I gotta ask, what was your favorite day of your life? Career-wise, this is any kind of wise, like whatever.
What was the best day ever?
Yeah, favorite day of your life, like whatever you want.
I'll take this because it's easy. I'll go first. Give you some time. All right, I'm going to combine Disney and my personal. I'm going to combine it at once here. The best day of my life was when my wife and I got married at Disney. Little Disney temple. Yeah. At the Grand Floridian.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and I even said, I remember I was there, I was like, I was Prince Eric, Little Mermaid, and the woman looked up and she goes, oh, well, we give performer discounts. And I said, cast member discounts. And I was like, okay.
Obviously, I wasn't invited. How did I not know that you got married at the...
I was 13,
Oh my God. I'm just learning that now.
Well, this is a green ID, not a blue ID. Contractor.
Okay, so personal life, wedding day, birth of both of my children. So those are the top three. As far as Disney goes, goodness, like I say, with 38 plus years going, there's a million of them. But what I would say, my days recording the film, I would definitely say in the studio. And I would say with working with Howard, those are those memories that just, they're gold. And I'm so thankful. What is it?
11:37.
Yeah. I'm sorry, how about it?
We're posing for a conference.
So sorry. How about, Patty, can we do a speed round of 4 people?
Okay.
Speed round of 4 people.
How about I do a speed round for as many as we can?
Okay, speed. Here we go, speed.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna say, what's your question? Okay, I need everybody to headline it in their heads. You don't have to introduce yourself. You don't have to say how much you love the movie. Just go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What's your question?
What was the biggest challenge you had while making this movie?
I was terrified.
I was 15.
What was like being a cameo appearance in the live action version? For Jodi.
Oh, live action version, brilliant, had a blast, loved the cast, amazing film.
Go.
I have a question. I just want to say I'm really glad to see you, JB.
I'm glad to see you too, Mike. Good to see you.
I was wondering if you two will ever return, perhaps in a live action or any type of other projects together, be it an oceanic theme or even like a Spider-Man.
Anytime, yes.
100%.
How long did you guys have to do for your improv?
It wasn't improv. We have the script.
It was 3 days for me. It was
I had 2.5 weeks work over 2.5 years.
Great, take it. Come over.
Come on, we can do it.
Yeah, so we do it on camera. What's your question?
Hi. What's your guilty pleasure right now for animation?
Anything Warhammer 40K. Paul the Emperor.
I'm doing Wing Feather Saga for Angel Studios, so that's what I'm watching.
What's the question?
How much do you see your expressions and your mannerisms in your characters?
100%.
And yes, and so does my wife.
Lovely cosplay. Thank you. Which question?
Hi, how did you guys feel when you guys realized you became Disney legends?
Awesome, unbelievable, shocked.
Like a legend.
Which question?
Did you know you were always going to voice Vanessa or
No, I had no idea. It was just happening in there, and Pat Carroll trained me, so.
Side note, one of my favorite Disny villains. Vanessa. We love Vanessa. Underrated.
Thank you.
Hey, which question?
Hi, what was your first impressions of each other when you first met?
Where did we first meet?
Was it
Because we weren't in the studio at the same time. We weren't in the studio at the same time, right? That was so long ago.
That
I'm
was like
going to
30
say
years
fabulous.
ago. Yeah.
Incredible.
She's pretty.
Amazing. Thanks. Old enough to be your mom, though. That's crazy.
Hey, last one. What's
Fabulous.
Are you aware of the impact you have on kids being safe in and around the water?
No. I've never had that posed to me
I've never heard about that.
Wow.
I hope it's a good thing.
Is that a good thing? Okay, then yes.
Oh, so we have all the questions. Great. And we have time for a little surprise.
Boys, I love you both. Go.
Now,
I'm kicking you out. Oh, yes, we're going to do. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I'll give you my spiel. Okay.
And I'll be down here.
Yes, thank you so much. Hey, friends. So I'm going to sing for you because I like you to have your trigger core memory. So in order to have your trigger core memory, I'm going to ask all of you to put your phones away.
All right, we just got out of the Jodi Benson, well, the Little Mermaid. I keep calling it the Jodi Benson panel. There were two of them there.
There were
But,
two.
but I felt like it was overwhelmingly people were there for Jodi Benson.
Yes, very much so. As you can tell by the people who kept making comments specifically like to her, and I'm like, oh, poor dude up there on the stage. Anyway, so I think that Jodi Benson might actually be magical. I don't know.
Good chance. So I had to cut it off
lovely.
toward the end because I asked you to turn the cameras off toward the end. But she did sing, of course, Part of Your World at the end, which was gorgeous.
She sounded great.
So amazing.
And I don't know, something a little magical about a song that you just grew up listening to over and over again, and seeing her actually perform it live. It is a magical thing.
It's true. Really, really good.
The speed round was absolutely hilarious. I loved them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they were just really lovely and generous to the crowd in there. Also, I didn't realize that he was only 15 whenever they recorded that. And so that was really neat to find out.
Yeah.
And then hearing her talk about Howard Ashman, all of that kind of stuff. I love any kind of thing that goes into like the filming process and recording process. And so, you know, just wild to think about the fact, like, they asked about the first impression of each other and the fact they didn't even meet while they were recording the movie.
Yeah.
That, and then also talking about how the sketches changed so drastically, like once they were voiced and once they saw them, they would record them and use it as a basis for the characters. It was just all really interesting to listen to.
It was. It's very cool. We hope you enjoyed it. We're going to go try to explore some of the show floor.
Yeah.
And see what we can find.
All right, so I did a thing because we are big fans of Jujutsu Kaisen, and the voice actor for Gojo was here. So got my pop that we got from the pop store in LA on our last visit. And he signed it, and he drew a little figure on the side, and was just super nice. And he also voices Jinchi in the Apothecary Diaries. So this was my big souvenir for today.
There you go.
Some questions. I think we need some people up here on the stage. So, where's my Disney fans at? Please help me welcome to the stage first. You know him as the voice of Hercules. Help me welcome Tate, Donovan. You know her as the voice of Megara. Please help me welcome Susan, Egan. Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, I know. We have to stop
Well, welcome back to Orlando. You're practically here all the time now, right? And you're going to be here in another couple of weeks, and so welcome back.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
You know, I have one question. I was concerned today, getting dressed. I was like, I shouldn't wear socks, or should I wear socks? Do you guys notice, because when you're up here, you're like, oh my God, my feet are right at their eye level. So you gotta really bring the footwear. Do you guys notice that stuff at all, or no? Okay, I don't have to worry about it.
Now they do.
Everybody's taking up pictures of your
about my feet. Yeah,
right. So, this is great. Listen, if I wasn't here, I would be down there. Huge Disney fan. Now, going into this film, did you, in going into the auditioning process, were you aware that it was a Disney film, or was this something that your agent said, hey, there's this project, or how did you hear about this?
Well, I was aware that it was a Disney film, definitely. But I remember walking into the the waiting room before you went and auditioned, and every huge star at the time, like Rob Lowe was in there, Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland was in there. I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get this. What am I doing here? This is such a bummer. And I remember going in there, and there was a music stand with the lines and a microphone, and Ron and John, the directors, they're like, okay, good, yeah, thanks. Whenever you're ready, just go. And I was like, okay, great, thanks. And as soon as I started to speak, they just went. And I was like, oh, for some reason, I was like, oh, it's Disney. Maybe they're very religious and we're supposed to pray before, like they're praying, like, please God, let this guy be the, let him hurry up before Kiefer Sutherland gets in here. And so I was like, throw it out, and then I realized that, oh, they don't care what I look like, they just want to hear my voice. And so that was a very unusual experience.
I did know it was Disney, and I really, really wanted to audition for it, and they wouldn't let me audition for it because I was doing Beauty and the Beast at the time. And I guess I was so convincing as Belle that they didn't realize that I was really acting as Belle, but that Meg is right where I live. So they finally let me audition, and she's so relatable to me, and she's kind of where my voice lives naturally. And, that they finally, I was just a squeaky wheel. They finally let me audition because they had to see me at the theater every night anyway. And then it sort of progressed, but it took like a year.
Oh yeah, it took months and months and months. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say
what
about
they tell me is
10 months.
It's so long ago that they recorded you onto a little cassette tape. And then you would never go to a callback like you would as an actor, but that tape would progress. And I remember about 8 months later, I was doing Beauty and the Beast in Los Angeles, and Michael Eisner was walking down the hall. He's like, Egan, good audition for Hercules. And I'm like, oh, it made it to Eisner. Like, okay. And they have their 3 favorite voices for each of the characters, and they test Animate to see whether that voice actually suits the look of the character or whatever it is. And I don't know. I just think maybe the other people got the offer and they turned it down, and that became.
Yeah, that was probably last on the list.
Anybody
else auditioned for that? What, Donovan? What's his name?
Donovan Tate, yeah.
Now, with it being a Disney film in the 90s on the heels of Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, lots of singing. You were in the process of being Belle on Broadway, but Tate, were you a little concerned because you didn't sing? Were you concerned that you would have to, or are you kind of happy that you didn't have to?
It's funny, I was young, and I was very confident.
Okay.
So, I fully expected, they'll probably throw in a song for me. Yeah, I can totally do this.
Actually, Tate's an amazing musician. He's great. He played in an Irish bar. Like, I used to go see you in your pub.
I used to play a traditional Irish band, but I wouldn't say I was like a good Broadway singer. I could carry a tune.
Right.
But, so at any rate, I was very confident, and you know, the script wasn't like a normal like movie. You know, they don't give you a script that you read and you arc out. You just sort of go there. They're like, hey, we want to record, and I'm like, you're there, and for a couple hours, and they're like, we're gonna do this scene where you're fighting, you know, somebody in a brook, and you know, blah 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 blah. And so I just was expecting a song eventually to come up. Yeah. And I remember one day I was like, hey, are there any songs that I'm gonna sing? And they're like, and they sort of looked at each other like, what does this guy think? And they're like, well, adult Hercules doesn't have a song. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even know that there was a young Hercules. Are there Hercules in this movie?
Right, they don't give you a script. I went to record one day, and I record the scene where she dies, and I'm like, I'm sorry, she dies? Nobody told me this. No, they keep it very tight-lipped.
You know, a couple months ago, I was on a Disney cruise, and I walked out, and Hercules was playing on television, and I was like, I know that, right? Like, and now I'm here on stage, and it's like, what is this? And have you had that moment where during your career, not necessarily during Hercules, but you were like, wow, what is this? What is my life? How did I get here?
It's pretty cool because being part of a Disney animated feature, you know, will outlast you. You know, it's something that I recorded it long before I had children, but I thought in the moment my children will see this, and then their children will see this, and it is to be part of something that's immediately timeless because Disney has that legacy. So it's a pretty cool thing, and then you become part of the family, and it really is a family. We're all back there with the princesses just hanging.
I actually don't feel it until I come to something like this. And I meet all of you, and I'm so blown away by how you interpret the film, how much you appreciate the film. Like, you know, when you're an actor, you sort of like go up there and you do your lines, and you have no idea. And what you guys bring to it, and when you come up to my table and say, hey, you know, this happened because of this, and I love this movie, it's incredibly moving to us to meet you guys and to hear.
Your dad agrees.
Right, Zeus? Was that thunder? Florida is no joke. Wow, I thought it was like a bomb going on.
You mentioned that Disney legacy. While you were, you know, when you got the part or while you were recording, was there pressure on you because this was a Disney project, or was it just, oh, this is just another gig?
I think that's where youth comes into play. Like, I wasn't even smart enough to be intimidated, honestly. And then I would say, like, Ron and John, and I would say Alice Dewey as well, and Alan Megan, like, they really make it playtime. Like, they really make it fun, and it's seemingly low pressure, and they let you play around in the studio. You know, you get your lines the way they're written, and then they kind of let you improvise and do some fun stuff. So they make it very playful there. To, I think, take that.
Zeus is pissed about that.
He's like, we didn't actually want you, Susan.
No improvising. Yeah, very much the same way. You know, I didn't feel a lot of pressure of like, oh, this is a Disney feature. You know, I was just like, wow, this is cool. You know, and everybody involved has done their job for a long time. Like Ron and John have directed all these amazing movies. They were so comfortable in their you know, their job, and so yeah, it was just a positive, fun experience.
This is also such a screwball comedy. Like, it's such a goofy movie. It has a lot of heart, of course, but it is ridiculous too. You know, Brittany and Jason.
Speak for yourself.
Well, except for you, you're a Chekhov, but you know.
You know, you mentioned meeting fans, or you know, and coming to events like Galaxy Con. When did you realize that this project had legs? That this was going to be something that, again, you show your children, they're going to show their children, and that the fandom is going to keep going? Because there are other films during that time. One of my favorites, Treasure Planet, that doesn't necessarily get the same amount of love.
I think it's surprising. It's surprising me, the fact that like people are doing 80s and 90s nights. I'm like, I lived the 80s and 90s. I didn't think they were all, like, wow, okay. But I think there's something really special when you get to be part of a project that is a part of somebody's childhood. It will always live in a special place in their heart. So even though now you're 35, you're like, yeah, but I have a lunchbox, that it's truly an honor. And Tate's right, like getting to meet people and hear what their association with it was, what character they identified with, and what made the difference in their life. It's pretty cool.
And having this long legacy, now there's going to be a Broadway show. And also on the Disney Destiny
Yes.
show.
Yeah, I'm going to be on board in a couple weeks in a different role as a producer of a different show. But yeah, really excited to see that. And that one is a total redefinition. They're telling Hercules like as if it's Mad Men. So like it's all set in like the 60s. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, it's new arrangements.
He works at an ad agency?
And it's paid by John Hamm.
Damn it.
Sorry.
That's okay. He's great.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it's like if you they released like Meg singing her song, and I premiered it at D23 last year, and it's a very 60s version of it's really cool. It's jazzy and
Can't
awesome.
wait to see it. Shoot for Christmas time. Shoot for Christmas time. So when you come to events like this, and obviously you've worked with a lot of folks, but when you come to a GalaxyCon and you're sitting next to somebody, or you see somebody in the green room, do you still kind of fanboy out a little bit at all?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you meet some people like I met LeVar Burton, and LeVar Burton to me was like I was raised in New Jersey, and him and Roots was just like life-changing, not just for me, but for my entire family. I mean, Roots just changed everything for my family, and changed America, as far as I'm concerned. And just meeting LeVar Burton and just being, he's just an amazing guy. So yeah, that happens to me all the time. Yeah, and I don't do what I tell people all the time to do, which is like, go up to these people and say how you feel about them, because I know I love it, but I'm the same as you. Like a lot of people, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to bother him. I don't want to bother LeVar,
I saw Mel Brooks was at the last con that I was at.
What?
That's Mel Brooks. I flipped out. I didn't go say hi. Just say Meryl Streep came to see Beauty and the Beast, and they told me, and I ran out of the theater. I was too scared to meet her. And it was awful. She had a young daughter who wanted to meet Belle, I'm sure. And it's like I couldn't. Like sometimes, that was just going to be too much. I would have thought, like, it's Meryl Streep.
Did they tell you
It's
before?
terrible. They told me right at the end, and I just.
Luckily at the end.
I lost my mind.
By the way, if you happen to look out there in the...
I'm going to apologize. I will apologize. I'm so sorry.
Did you guys record together, or was it solo?
A couple times.
A couple times they got us together, which was so much fun, because most of the time you're just alone in the microphone. Yeah, we had a great time. It was really...
Did you work with James or with
No,
Danny? Or
no.
anybody? I had one session with James Woods too. But then I think we had like maybe 2 sessions together. Not a lot.
Not a lot.
No.
What I found is, it's interesting when people do shows, do movies, do projects together, and then they meet at the premiere.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh,
100%
like they're wearing like name tags. Hi, my name is
Danny.
Right, nobody knows Danny. We have a great line here. Would you like to take some?
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. So if you guys have questions, feel free to start lining up. Hello, what is your name?
Hi, I'm Kelly.
Hi.
First off, my sisters and I love your movie. And since Meg was going through a relationship problem, do you sometimes run into fans who have the same problem?
Yes, I also channeled my own problems into the characterization. Living in New York, string of bad boyfriends, yeah. No, for sure. I think that's what makes her relatable, right? She is not this perfection that a lot of the Disney heroines are. Like, she has a past, she's making mistakes, she's playing for the wrong team, you know, on the side of Hades, until she figures it out.
Oh. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name? It's Jake. How you guys doing? I grew up a lot with the Disney Renaissance, and I will say in the 90s and 2000s and 2010s were the golden times of Disney, if you ask me. But my question, though, is, well, I guess I could say it's for one each, but like, if you were able to ever work with them, I guess for Tate's case, what was it like working with James Woods? And then for Susan, given that Meg is considered the sassiest Disney character of all time, how does that make you feel on that?
Well, first of all, how do my ankles look on camera? I met James Woods at the premiere. I think maybe one time I was coming into the building and he was leaving his recording session, and that was it. You know, like, it was crazy. It's crazy how we didn't really interact. Yeah, but he was amazing in the film.
And then Meg being sassy. Yeah, I feel like it was in lieu of therapy. I got a lot out of it. I love how she can, I'm always the one who walks away from a situation saying, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that. And Meg always seemed to know what to say right in the moment, and I loved that.
Wonder Boy.
Bye-bye, Wonder Boy.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Amanda. First of all, to the host, I love your Mickey bounding. It's really nice. I noticed that. Very fashion forward. Thank you guys both for your contributions to this movie. It's just fantastic for what it is, especially for millennials. We're going through a lot, so sometimes you just need to put on.
Hang in there, guys.
Us millennials, we're going through a lot. So here's a very interesting creative question for you both, since Hercules has all these powers. What type of superpower would you like to have? But on the other end, with all the good that can come with a superpower, what's something negative that you can see associated with a superpower? Like, if you could speak every language, then all of a sudden you can understand everybody around you and get oversensitized, things like that.
Yeah, it's sort of like if you could actually read minds, you really wouldn't want to know what people
Right.
think. I think that would be the one for me.
Superpower. Gosh, sorry, I'm trying to think. You know, it would be great if I could go back in time and be able to sing a song as a dog. The downside of that is that I can't really sing.
See, I'd love to fly, but then I would have to TSA check myself. I don't want to do that. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Listen, in the world of reboots, never say never.
That's right.
Hello, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Victoria, and I'm going to try to phrase this question as best as possible.
All right.
So, we all know that, of course, the Hercules movie is not, of course, 100% accurate to the original myth. And so, my question for you is, out of all the creative liberties Disney made from the original source material, do you have any favorite changes that Disney made for the film? I'm not sure if you know anything about the original Hercules myth, but...
Well, when I first got the role, I took it very seriously. I was a serious actor, so I read up on Hercules, which is the Greek version of Hercules, and I realized very quickly that this is a meaningless experience. I mean, it's pretty dark, really super dark. So I'm really glad that Disney decided, hey, let's not have him kill so many people, even in the Nemean lion. You know, I mean, let's give the guy a break. You know, lions are endangered. You know, we shouldn't be killing the beautiful beasts. I forgot what the question was, but basically,
What's your favorite?
How they turned things. Yeah. Well, I mean, I loved how. I mean, it was so funny how they turned it into sort of like. How to deal with fame, you know, like, you know, all the merchandise, all the fame, how, you know, that was sort of like a new thing in the 80s and 90s. Like, Michael Jordan became this, like, mythical athlete, and they sort of really played with that culture of these superstar athletes, and I really thought that was incredibly clever and insightful.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. They made, a lot of times with the animated features of that era, they tried to make them timeless. They didn't want to put any contemporary humor in. And what changed that, they told me later, was Robin Williams as the genie was just, there was no stopping him. Like he was gonna, just riff. And they realized how much the audiences like it, so they agreed to just, with this movie, make it very of its era, and I think it still works. Like, the fact that they, do say, that everybody's named Brittany and Jason, which it was true at the time. And call IXII, that kind of stuff just made me howl. I thought the script was so clever.
Hello, what's your name?
You have one right answer.
Zero to Hero?
Yeah, that's my favorite though.
It is pretty great. I mean, the gospel music is so great in it, but you're
I got to be there in the sessions when they were recording because I was waiting for my session with them to do I Won't Say. And so I got to hear them do Gospel Truth and Zero to Hero. And I just remember there were like 5 people listening to this. It was, music side of Alan, our producer, directors, Michael Cosner's music director, and I just thought, they are blowing the roof off, and we are one of 5 people witnessing this in real life, which is why I'm so glad there's now the show in London, because you can go hear that roof go off, because the Muses stuff is amazing, and I think David Zippel's lyrics are the bomb, and this perfect package packs a pair of pretty pecs. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy smart. And he'll tell you how much a Grecian earned. It's so great. Yeah, Zero to Hero. But, hands down.
Thank you. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Ricky. Nice to meet both of you. So in the movie, Hercules has a lot of merchandise. I would love to know what your favorite piece of Hercules merchandise is that
Well, I've seen a lot of cool stuff that you guys have, but I don't know if it's considered merchandise, but Susan and I were lucky enough to be given a maquette, which is a maquette is a sort of rosin sculpture of your character, and it's sort of what the animators share, it just is the consistency of what does Hercules look like at a 3D level, and it's sort of very old school way of animating. I don't think they make maquettes anymore.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, and so when they gave it to us, I remember I was like, oh cool, I didn't really understand how valuable it was, and they were like, just so you know, I don't care what kind of car you have or if you own a house, this is the most valuable thing you own.
So the animators can rotate it, and from every angle there's a consistency, as Tate said.
Yeah.
So we each have our maquette, which is pretty great.
Yeah, pretty
but
cool.
I'm also very proud of my McDonald's plates.
That's
Hello, what's your name?
Yes, thank you for asking. So there's a scene where they've spent all day together. She got Herc to ditch his, whatever with Phil, and then it's right before I Won't Say I'm in Love, and they're going in the garden. It's all romantic, but they're recollecting what their day was like. And so we recorded the scene, and then we were improvising the scene. And you said, and that Oedipus play? And I'm like, yeah, there's a boy who loves his mother. I didn't keep it, but I thought it would come right over the heads of the kids, right to the parents, sophomore year English class.
Darn it all.
Hello.
Speaking of I Won't Say I'm in Love, was there a difference between the regular recording for the voices and then recording for the singing parts?
Yeah, so there was actually another song for Meg first, and I had a good working relationship with with Alan Menken because he wrote Beauty and the Beast as well, and he, I was living in New York, and he lives in New York, and so he has a studio at his house. So I went over to his house to record the first song, which was called "I Can't Believe My Heart," and it's very much an Alan Menken love ballad. And they started animating to it and realized Meg would never in a million years sing a love ballad. She would be in denial, so they rewrote the song. But that whole process of like being able to sort of witness David and Alan figure that out and rewrite another song, and they wrote the absolute right song with I Won't Say I'm in Love, which is really a duet between Meg and the Muses, and it's an argument that they win, which I love. I love that she's on the losing side, and they're like, talk man, girl.
Hello, what's your name?
Amy.
Hi, Amy.
So one of the themes in Hercules is heroes. So I'm wondering nowadays, what do you guys think makes a true hero?
That's a good question. What was that again? The size of his what? What makes a true hero? Well, gosh. What I love about Hercules is he's a very humble guy, and I as life goes on, I find humility to be extraordinarily heroic, and to be allow people to see vulnerability and sort of to question yourself. And I think that takes a lot of courage, and usually courage is involved when you're doing something heroic. So, something like that.
Wow, that's a good one. I would say, try and look for the people who might not be in the spotlight, but they're lifting people up. Like the people who make opportunities for other people to sort of be lifted and find their power. Those are the people that I really noticed as an adult that maybe I didn't when I was younger. And they're the role models for me.
Hello, what's your name?
Hannah?
Hi.
I just want to know, do you have like any favorite moments about recording Hercules?
I had never done voiceover. Had you ever done voiceover?
Not really, no.
I really didn't know what to do. As an actor, when they say, hey, can you ride a moped? You're like, of course I can. And then you go get a class and learn how to ride a moped. Right? So you always say yes. But that very first day of actually recording was the scene where Meg meets Herc, and the centaur is there, and they're like, yeah, that's good, Susan. Now can you do the scene again as if there's a fish down your top? I'm like, yes. You just learn really quickly to have no ego and no sense of embarrassment. You just have to go for it. You're ridiculous in the studio to get whatever sound you need in your voice. You're jumping around, you're doing whatever. And I just remember like, oh, okay, I just have to let it all go at the door. Like, I'm not gonna be graceful. I'm not gonna be any of these things that you're sort of taught to be as an actor. So it was a little scary. But then a lot of fun. When you get rid of those inhibitions, it's just fun.
Yeah, and it helps that there's no visual, it's just your voice. And so I think a lot of self-consciousness as an actor comes from like, oh gosh, how do I look, And when that's gone, you can sort of just run around and be as free as possible. And yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Nick.
Hi, Nick.
This is more of a question for Donovan. Your role was split between you and Josh Keaton as younger Hercules. Was there anything that kind of informed how the two of you would sound as the same character? Like, did you ever hear his recordings or anything like that?
No, like I said, I didn't even know there was a young Hercules. Until I was like, at the premiere. I'm like, wait, what? So no, yeah, there wasn't. You give all that stuff up to the producers and the directors, and they know what they're doing, and you just sort of like you just go in there and do your best. And, yeah, I know it's kind of amazing though. Like, I mean, it's pretty seamless.
I couldn't tell as a kid. So.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I can't even tell.
Thank you.
How do Josh Keaton's ankles look on stage?
I don't know. We should bring him up here.
Hello, it's a you.
It's a you. Who's your
find what you can do in comedy. Like, I love her.
She did, yeah, she was great. For Hercules, I definitely thought a lot about Jimmy Stewart, who I always loved. I just adore Jimmy Stewart, and yeah, he has a sort of sense, Herc has a sort of feeling, in my mind, of Jimmy Stewart a little bit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Gil, and I have a question for Susan. This is more for like the Spirited Away. So, when you got that project, did you know that was a Miyazaki film?
I didn't know anything, I'm so ignorant. I didn't know anything about it. It was the very first Miyazaki film for Disney to get the rights to translate. And so it was very new even for Disney. Although, I mean, Katzenberg loved Miyazaki, and the reason he sort of wanted to resurrect the animation department at Disney was because he was such a fan of Miyazaki that it took him like 15 years to get the rights to do Miyazaki. So they're explaining over the phone what this story is. Well, there's this, 10-year-old girl, and she's working in a bathhouse, and I'm like, where's social services? Are we sure this is okay? And then they send me, because it wasn't accessible. We didn't have streaming in those days. So they sent me a VHS tape of the Japanese, of the original Spirited Away, and once I saw that, it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to be a part of this.
My dog is named after her, Chihiro.
Oh, Chihiro, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Nero. I have questions that's more general, but as legacy voice actors, you've paved the way and you've worked for such a large company. Do you have any advice for people who want to get into voice acting?
Yeah, I mean, I would take a class. I mean, there are so many great classes on acting in general, and I wouldn't delineate between voice acting and acting. They're pretty much the same thing. But if you just want to do voice acting, there are classes that focus on the voice, and at the end of them, you usually get a demo put together, or you maybe meet a voice agent, or something like that. But putting all that business part of it aside, you just learn the basics of just become as good an actor as you possibly can, and that'll take care of you. That'll.
Yeah, acting really is acting, but I would also say it's like there are avenues that weren't available to us because there are now platforms where you can create your own animation. You can get together with your friends, you can write a script, and honestly, all the people that are producing things for networks and streaming services, they're looking on YouTube to find it. So all my Broadway pals back there, they had a little YouTube show that now got picked up by Apple, and now they've got long lines in front of their tables. Like it is within your power with your iPhone to record it and create your own projects, and I encourage you to do it. Just make little 5-minute cartoons or whatever kind of voiceover thing you want to do. But just do it, create the content. Thank you so much.
It's my favorite. And he says voice acting is little v, big A, focus on the act. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Michael. So, a question for both of you. Do you possibly have a favorite character moment you voiced outside of this movie, such as maybe Disney Interactive or House of Mouse?
A voice outside of, I haven't really done much other than car commercials. my favorite was Chrysler. Chrysler the Baron. I remember that.
Those are great.
Yeah,
I was
fantastic.
this week only at Kmart.
So good.
Kmart. That job was
Thank you.
Sorry, probably not the answer.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Autumn.
Hi.
So my question is, what's your favorite message to come from the movie Hercules?
Oh, it's the one I was whispering to him. A true hero is not measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart. I think it's beautiful. It's
You know what I really love? everyone gets a hand when they come up and ask a question. That's so sweet of you guys, because it's nerve-wracking to ask a question, and you guys are an awesome audience, and you're supporting your fellow audience members. Yay.
Hello, what's your name? My name's Lewis. First of all, thank you guys so much for being here. It's such a pleasure to meet you guys. Now, to my question, back to reboots. There's a lot going on right now about a Hercules reboot produced by the Russo brothers. Is there anything you guys know about that? I know with the...
Tate and I were the first ones they called.
There's a character of Hercules' grandfather.
Because for the Little Mermaid live action, Jodi Benson made a little star appearance. I had to ask.
She did. She made a cameo. It was so cute. She looked amazing. Tate knows the role that I want.
Which one?
Fate.
Oh.
I want to be the fate. Who had the mini scissors?
I was really hoping you were going to say Phil.
I was going to play the town idiot, maybe.
No. I want you to be the guy that says, "That's it, I'm moving to Sparta."
Thank you so much. Hello.
Boss is here. Look at everybody's like, "Oh."
My name is Liz. Kind of a question for Susan, but I'd like to hear Tate's side as well. If given the opportunity to prove yourself through a test, like how Herc sacrificed himself in Aphrodite, to become a goddess and live with her up in Olympus, but if you fail, you have to go back to Hades, would you take that opportunity, would make you take that opportunity to have forever with her, or just be okay with being mortal?
Yeah, I kind of want to say, I'm not really happy with the way the movie ends. TBH.
TBH.
I feel like...
Maybe that's why we don't know anything about the reboot. That's Susan Egan. She's in trouble.
She's in trouble. Meg takes a pillar for her. She sacrifices herself. That was the scene I wasn't aware was going to happen that day at the recording session. I think for sure she would do anything. Not necessarily at this point. I don't think she would be doing it just to get up into Olympus, but to save his life.
All right, so you guys slide in at the very last minute. If we can make this really quick, we're just about out of time.
Don't worry, it's going to be quick. My question is, since it's all about heroes, if you had the opportunity to play a villain, even if it's in Disney, what villain would you like to do it? Even if it's live action or animation, what's the villain you would love to do?
Mother Gothel. Yes. Yes. No, Mother Gothel.
I don't know, Jafar. Thank you.
All right, hello.
Hi. Really quick, in a live-action reboot, who would you like to play Meg and adult her?
See, this is what gets us into trouble because you guys are filming.
I am not.
Many people that would be great as Meg. I would be happy with anybody that they cast, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty good at picking those folks. Is there anybody you want as her?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the basketball player. Yeah, he would be awesome. Yeah.
Don't you think Zendaya would be amazing?
Who? Oh, Zendaya, yeah.
She's got the two, she's got the voice.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you guys. One last question before we go. We have 18 seconds. If you could thank our great Animate fans here, what could you say to them within these last couple seconds about what they mean to you in being out here with us today?
This community means everything. It's like you're constantly thanking us for being here, but honestly, we couldn't be. You guys being here is what makes this con. And as Tate sort of said earlier, just listening to you and your stories and what struck you at that age, you know, when you saw the films, not just ours, but all of them here, it's really a beautiful community, and I think this world needs more beautiful communities. So I love how supportive you are of one another, and we certainly appreciate how supportive you are of us.
That was fantastic. I'm so psyched that you asked me to come here, and and I love that you support each other. It's so inclusive here, and how rare is that? You know, it's so great. It's really moving for us. So thanks for having us.
Animate Orlando, one more time. Can we get a group selfie with this entire group?
All right, so this has probably been, I would say, maybe the most random con we've ever been to, at least as far as like what we've done.
So much fun, just so we're clear.
It has been a very fun day.
It's been great.
We listened to I remember the guy's name, a saxophone
John,
guy.
the sax
guy.
Yeah.
Who did a collection of anime and K-pop Demon Hunter songs.
Yes, he started out with Tank from Cowboy Bebop. It was great.
He was very good.
He was very good, yeah. He was. But we didn't finish his thing because then the cosplay wrestling started. What an experience. There are clips in here for you guys. You're welcome.
Yes, we saw Deadpool and Gambit beating up people, and
characters from One Piece who I don't know their names. And
not to be left out, there was Spider-Gwen and Poison Ivy.
I left before that. But yes, I hear.
Yes, and this comes from someone who has never watched a day of wrestling in their life. So that was entertaining.
Yeah.
So we had that. We had Jodi Benson and the cast of Hercules, and
I met a voice actor.
So all in all, probably the most random con day that we've ever had. But you're welcome.
Yes, that's right. And if you guys are watching, let us know which panel you enjoyed listening to. What was your favorite part of tagging along for our day?
And if you've made it this far, congratulations, because I think the Hercules panel alone was like 40 minutes long.
Yeah, and Jodi Benson was not short, so
it's not.
Lots going on.
Definitely. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out. Until next time,
keep savoring the magic.